What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's doing good, staying positive and staying productive. So nowadays, everybody's trying to learn ways to improve their life. They're trying to learn ways to live longer. They're trying to learn ways to live richer. They're trying to learn ways to look better and younger. They're trying to learn ways to be able to increase their business and assets and commodities and their value, trying to learn everything that they can to be able to improve the situation that they're in. For the most part, everybody's got their eyes on something that triggers them. That whether it's parenting, whether it's relationships, whether it's their health, whether it's money, whether it's the career field that they're in, they're trying to improve something. The most important thing you got to understand is that I always say this in my posts, in my stories, in my reels. It's just as important to know what not to do as it is to know what to do. So in the process of learning, you need to make sure you unlearn all the stupid, dumb shit that's embedded inside you. Because when push comes to shove, that's what you're going to regress to, okay? When our back's against the wall, when we're having a bad day, a bad week, a bad string of events, or it's just that time of the month, for a female, or it's that time of the year, it's winter, it's cold, the days are short, everybody's cold, miserable, and rainy, people will regress to their vices. Nobody rises to motivation. People always fall to their habits. So you got to have great habits. And there's a lot of stuff that all of us know deep down is not self-serving, okay? We have to learn new ways and unlearn old ways to be able to live a good life of abundance and not self-sabotage ourselves. And there's so much shit that once you start being aware of this, you need to be able to understand that you can't act out on these things. So you can do all the right things to be able to build a good life for yourself, and you want a good relationship and maybe start a family, but you've got bad habits deep down embedded in you from your parents or your community of how they speak to each other, how they communicate, how they used to argue, how they used to be spiteful, or what place the woman had and what place the man had. And those things in this day and age are not going to serve you. I'm not saying that all of it's bad, but there's a lot of shit out there that a lot of parents were too busy, too tired, or just too ignorant to understand because they come from that background, they come from that demographic, they come from that ethnicity, they come from that religion where these things were prominent. And right now that might not be able to serve you in the situation that you're in. And you need to be able to distinct that that's inside of you, that you might act that way, or you still have those views and you need to get that out. The same thing goes for money. 40, 50 years ago, a house had 20% interest on it, but the payments and the cost of that house and that interest was nothing. It was like a fifth to the 10th, depending on which bracket you're in economically, of what it is these days. So that whole, I get a job at this company and work there for 40 years and collect a pension and I'll do okay, that's not going to cut it these days. They cut pensions and mutual funds and retirement plans every single year in these countries that people are living in, Canada, North America, Europe, UK, Australia, on a yearly basis, because these places are in debt because of these social programs. Now, the same thing goes for your health and your fitness. You want to live a good, prosperous life. Maybe you're not a gym rat. Maybe gym and being lean is not on your priority list, and that's great. Just because you don't have a six-pack or a bunch of muscle on you doesn't mean whether you're healthy or not. I've seen thousands of people's blood tests that just look like an average Joe and they've got perfect health because they're not really doing anything wrong to cause their body to have inflammation or toxicity. But if you've got poor habits instilled in you from your parents, because when we sit and we eat the whole plate and we don't move much because we have money, and the people in our community or our town or our religion or our race that have money don't do these things. Other people do them for us. That's not going to serve you. You're going to get sick from that. You're going to have problems from that. So You got to look at everything and reverse engineer it, as I always say. You got to look at these things that have been instilled in you from school, from your family, from your community, from your peers, and understand, is this optimal for me in the future? You have to unlearn these things. If you want to be able to live a life of abundance, not be working to an old age, be able to have expendable finances, to have amazing vacations, have nice cars, nice homes, nice stuff, be able to sort situations out quickly when emergencies pop up. You need to be able to do the opposite of what most people in your peer group are probably going to be doing, because they're doing the minimum. They go to work, they collect the check, and they watch TV and just relax and spend money. They're consumers. They work for a company to make that company money, and they use the money that they take to pay off the debt to the car for another company, and the home that the bank owns, and all the small shit in their house that's on a credit card. And they just consume and buy more stuff, eat more stuff, and watch more stuff. So you need to understand that these things taught to you as being normal are not going to work for you. And when people say to you, oh, you're doing too much of this, or that sounds obsessive, or you're working too hard on that, or you should take it easy, your brain needs to know, first and foremost, that I've got to do different things to get a different life than these people. So you got to unlearn these things while you learn the new things, because you might be ticking off the right boxes. I see people go to the gym. I've been in the gym for 16, 17 years, for the most part in one region where there's tons of money and every single demographic, 200 nationalities of the world. And these people got nannies, cooks, drivers. They come to the clinic privately outside of their health insurance to pay for peptides, anti-aging protocols, you name it. They've got multiple memberships to facilities and other places for swimming and racket and basketball camps, all the shit, the perfect situation to be in great shape and be healthy. And they go to the gym 5 days a week, and they look like they've never stepped in a gym their whole life. They're eating Whole Foods. They're buying the most expensive breakfast, lunch, and dinner from the most expensive venues, but they're eating tons of calories. They're still drinking alcohol. They move at a minimal amount throughout the day, except at the gym. So there's no way you can be able to be lean if the only thing you do is exercise for 45 minutes, 5 days a week. That comes out to about 4 hours, maybe 5 hours if you're lucky. The other 163 hours, if you're sitting on your ass and you're eating, you're going to gain weight. You're going to have problems. You're going to be sick. There's a lot of people that put their money into branding, into looking good, into editing videos, into marketing, into promoting something, into a business or a skill set that they have or a service that they're trying to sell. But they're not doing the right things outside of that. They're not actually learning to practice their skill set. They're not trying to actually improve on. They're not actually trying to give the customer what they want or get a good reputation. They're just trying to put it out there. They're not worried about what's coming back in because they just expect it to come back in. And these people don't make money. There's other people that try to start off businesses and say, oh, if I buy this or go into this with that person, it's going to bring us income. I always go to a salon. I always go to a gym. I always go to a car wash. I always know people looking for a house. So we'll start a real estate company. We'll get the license. We'll get the insurance. But these people aren't doing their due diligence outside of that to be able to grow the business. They just expect it to grow by itself because they learned from a generation in the past where you put money into something and money comes out of it. There was a lot less competition. So you have to unlearn all the shit that's going to hinder the things that you learn, so that while you're ticking off the boxes of what you're supposed to do, you're not doing the opposite, which is going to take you one step back and you never move forward. I hope this can bring you guys some value. I hope it can keep you guys a little bit more aware of your journey so you can accomplish the things that you want. If you have any questions or need any help with anything and want to book a free call with me, my information is in the bio. You can email me or shoot me a DM on one of my social media platforms. If you want to get in shape, lose some body fat, learn some stress management, some nutrition, and some good skill sets to be able to improve your health completely for free. I've got a program for the men and a program for the women. Just shoot me an email and I'll send that out to you. Stay good to yourself, stay true to yourself. Let nothing and nobody get in the way of the life that you want to live, and make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Show some support. Take care.